Good morning. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
It was wonderful Monday morning, right? Right now, I can see around 20 people have logged in. We'll wait for a few more minutes, then we will start the session. In the meantime, I hope that you're all logged in from computers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what you can also do is keep your mobile handy. There are certain things that I want you to Google and then find out what they are, so that it will be helpful for the learning process. Okay, people are joining in. Around 28 people have joined. Okay. Okay. Are all of you able to hear me properly?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Good, great. Okay. So today I wanted to take up the topic of customer satisfaction, right? Right. So what, according to all of you, would be a customer? Are you all customers, or are you all producers? I think in one or the other way, we are all kind of customers for one product or another,
Customers.
right? So let us look at the perspective of a company. And if there is a company and then it is manufacturing a particular kind of a good or a service, then there will be a person who will be called as a customer for that particular company, right? Now, who is a customer? What is the generic meaning of a customer, and what is the perception of a customer? So these are some of the few important topics that we will be learning today. Okay. When it comes to the generic meaning of the word called customer, could be as simple as somebody who buys a product of your company could be a customer, right? Right. So if you are a biscuit manufacturing company, everybody who buys biscuits is your customer. Right. Now the when you look at the meaning of customer in the management perspective, there are two kinds of customers, right? Customers are segregated as internal customers and external customers. Now, who are the internal customers and who are the external customers? External customers are the obvious people who buy your products, right? So when you go and buy something from a shop, the product that you buy for that company, you are an external customer. Then who is an internal customer? Internal customer is a perception of the company, of the employees who are working in the organization, right? So it's very important that both the customers are satisfied. If any one of the customer of what we are talking about is not satisfied, then the company is fails to be called as a company which practices TQM, total quality management. So right from the beginning, when we started this particular subject or course, we have been trying to adopt a philosophy that total quality management means it's a continuous process, and it is supposed to ensure everybody who is part and parcel of the organization is contributing to the quality of the product, right? So that being the consideration, what do you expect the qualities of an internal customer to be, and what do you expect something from an external customer? So whenever a company produces a product, there are certain aspects of what is a consideration for the company to produce a product. So what are those aspects? I'll try to share my screen so that you can also follow that, right? So just let me try to share my screen. All right, there are some issues with the meeting. So let's go back to the original scheme. Uh, Let me admit all of them. Okay. Are you all able to hear me properly?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. So the important points that I want you people to remember and keep in your mind about a customer is as simple as that a customer is a person who buys your product. He will be either be happy with your product or unhappy with your product, or there is a possibility that he is somewhere in the region between satisfaction and unsatisfaction. All right. So what are the aspects or considerations for a customer which could perceive him about the quality of a product? That's more important. So the word quality varies from product to product and customer to customer. So what is the customer's perception of quality? So in management, we have five different features, or rather points, which we can be considered to which will determine or give the the person who is assessing a product about the quality of the product. So those 5 to 6 parameters are: one is performance. I think you should make a note of that also, right? So performance is one of the main important characteristics that a customer would use to evaluate and then finally come to a conclusion about the quality of a product. So there are different people who have been talking about what performance is, and one of the authors of our management gurus has spoken performance as fitness for performance, fitness for use, right? Now that apart, what do you mean by performance? Very important. When you take a product, there are certain things that is required about the product. For example, let us say right now we have a condition, let us say COVID, coronavirus is spreading, and then there's a lot of issues related to all these viruses spreading and all, right? What do you need as a product, as a customer? What do you expect to be there? So one of the most important things that you want from as a customer from a company is, let us say, masks, right? We all put masks to protect ourselves from airborne, contamination, right? So when you go to a medical store, how many people were able to buy masks? And can you tell me how many people have bought masks? I hope somebody would have bought for you, but if you had directly gone to a medical store, the first initial few days, no, medical stores and all used to say out of stock, right? So when a customer goes to a shop expecting for a product, can someone mute because there's a music that is running at the background. I'm going to unmute you all then in that case. Come on, this is not professional. I've kept your mics on so that I'll be able to interact with you. But there is some music running at the background in one of the students. Please stop it. Okay. So very importantly, for a customer, availability of a product is very important. I hope you understand what has been explained here. So for a customer, if the product is not available, he is going to a shop with an expectation to buy the product and assess the quality of the product. But when he goes there and when the shopkeeper says that the product itself is not available, then the whole perception about the product by the customer is going to doldrums, right? So availability of a product is very, very important for uh, to assess the quality of a particular product. The second one is reliability. Okay. So when you go to a shop and buy certain product, you expect it to be reliable. For example, the same example of masks that we are talking about. Okay. When you go and buy a mask from a medical store, let us say, and when you try to wear it, imagine that the first attempt that you try to wear, the elastic that goes and sits behind your ears gets torn. So what is your first initial reaction to that kind of a product? You'll say that, okay, this is not a reliable product, and you will not try to buy a similar product, or even you will not even go to the medical store to buy that particular product, right? So yeah, there is a long list of chain reactions that can happen when a product fails, right? So reliability is a term which we can say the performance of a product. Yeah. So I've unmuted all of you so that I don't want to be disturbed by the voices that arise. Okay. So right now, what's happening? Yeah. Oh, uh, keep trying. All right. So yeah, reliability of a product is very important to consider it as a good product, right? Now, availability, reliability, and maintainability. This is also an very important parameter that is associated with a product. Supposedly, you buy a mask, and he says that it has to be only vacuum cleaned. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say here? Uh, so let me unmute you all so that I want some kind of a response. Okay. So if you are buying a mask and they say that it's a reusable mask and it can be what to say washed only in vacuum, how would you say? I mean, respond to that kind of a claim by the product? Would you go and buy such a product where uh, because having a vacuum environment and all is next to impossible and all those stuff, right? But that's the way the company has produced a product, and that is the way it is trying to market. So maintainability is also a very important aspect when it comes to a product. So there are three terminologies that we learned now. The first one being what? Availability of the product. The second one being reliability of the product. The third one is being the what? Maintainability of the product.
Maintainability.
So these three, what to say, parameters can lead to a uh, consideration for any what to say customer to perceive a quality of a particular product, and which can be put under the bracket of performance, right? So in the initially I told a customer will evaluate quality of a product based on certain parameters, and the first parameter that I took was performance. So once I say performance, how does he assess a performance of a product? Based on its availability, based on its reliability, and based on its maintainability, right? So these are the subtopics. I hope people are making a note of certain points, because these are straightforward questions that will come. Okay. So how does a customer perceive question? What is it? Quality. So you need to write about performance and then talk about availability, talk about reliability and maintainability, right? The second important parameter using which a customer tries to perceive a quality of a product or a good is the features of that particular product. Okay. So let us stick to the same example of a mask. All right. So there are different kinds of masks that are available right now in the market, right? You have the mask which is available for 10 rupees. The original cost of a what is a thin mask, which is a non-reusable mask, is around 10 rupees. Let us say, yeah, today they're all being exorbitantly priced. That's different. But let's go by the what to say original pricing of them, right? And there is a N95 mask also. I hope many of you are using an N95 mask, right? I hope some of you would have paid around 80 rupees, 100 rupees, 150, 250, depending upon availability, right? Now, can you tell me what is the difference between the mask N95 and the mask of 10 rupees that is generally sold in the market? Can any one of you respond?
Qualities,
Okay, apart from quality, anything else?
reliability,
Okay, all these
features.
things, the answers that you're giving are basically related to the performance which we just discussed. I want the
Yes,
next
sir.
parameter which the customer will use to evaluate quality. Features. Okay, I was trying to come to a point where the next point where or parameter which the customer will consider to evaluate quality of a product is the features that are available, right? So the
Yes, sir.
normal what to say mask, okay, non-reusable mask, okay, it just basically protects you from airborne infections to a particular what to say nanometer or millimeter, right? But your N95 masks provides even more what to say protection, right? And the design and the shape of the mask, okay, and the comfort level of the mask, the way it sits on your nose and your face, even the strapping, the elastic thing that you wear behind your ears, all these things is designed in a particular manner to, or certain other features are also added. There are masks with small holes which will provide you the, what to say, when you inhale there is a what to say, valve that will open and then fresh air comes in, and then when you exhale the air goes out of the other wall. So there are different kinds of masks that are being developed with different kinds of features, right? So whenever you are buying a product, okay, and let us say the two masks are available, okay, and both of them cost the same. One has less features and another one has more features. Which one do you buy? Obviously then you will be going for the one with more number of features, right? Yeah, so the second parameter which any customer would what to say, try to buy is based on the features, okay. Or rather features can be technically what to say, defined as attributes of a product or service that are psychological, time oriented, and ethical and technological. So when I say features, features need not be only related to something that we can touch, right? So when I say a mobile phone and features of a mobile phone, I hope that you can understand that if it has an extra sensor, then we can call it as a feature, right? So there are different ways in which features can be perceived. So features for a product will be different, features for a service will be different, features for different kinds of what to say, times will be different, right? uh, for a service, let us say there are two kinds of services, okay, service oriented company: service in a hotel industry, service in a hospital, right? So which one I mean, let me rephrase my question, okay. uh, Time is important for every one of us, right? In a hotel industry, we are ready to spend more time, provided, because we wait for the food to be more delicious, because we hope that when the food is what to say, made, it takes time, the food is going to be good, right? So that's one of the perceptions that you people have. But the same is not the, what to say, perception with respect to time in a hospital, right? Hospital, we expect very quick service to happen, right? So there are different ways in which features can be perceived, and henceforth features with also a very important what is a parameter that will be considered uh, for determining the quality of a product, right? Now the third one is service, okay. Customer service, very important. So this, the word service is not how to say, especially when I say service, the normal tendency is to, when you buy, let us say, an automobile, uh, post purchase service is what people try to pursue, okay. But that is not necessarily true all the time, okay. Service starts the moment you start producing the product. Why do I say this is, the moment when you conceive in your mind that I'm going to produce a product, okay, you have to start considering what kind of service are you going to provide to the customer, right? So let us say if you are thinking of starting a hotel industry or a small hotel,